let's be honest, show of hands, who here wants to make more money in 2026? I certainly know that I do. And frankly, it's hard enough as it is to keep up with the rising costs of gas and food and housing and just life these days. So, if you're ready to make more money this year, I am going to share with you a step by step guide to help you make more money in 2026. Hi, my name is Kim. I am a big tech recruiter and career advancement expert. I help professionals make more money. So let's get to it. As a recruiting professional for almost 15 years now, I can say that the folks who make the most money consistently are those who are best able to articulate the return on investment of hiring them to an employer. Now, in some job markets, like the job market of 2020 and 2021, especially in the tech industry, we were seeing that it was very possible for folks to make pretty significant moves in their career, which reflected in significant salaries. But today, in our job market, hiring managers and companies are less likely to take a bit of a risk on someone with less experience. What I am seeing in a job market like the one we're experiencing in 2026, hiring managers are looking for folks who have proven successes doing the scope and scale of work and frequently within that industry that they're currently hiring for. They are wanting to limit the amount of risk that they would potentially be experiencing in hiring a new employee. We're seeing that with the increase of interview rounds, the number of additional assessments and evaluation criteria for candidates, and we're seeing that in determining who gets the job offer. If you want to make more money in 2026, you need to understand the mentality of the person who would be paying you more money in 2026. So it's important to understand that in this job market, hiring managers are more risk adverse than ever. And so you need to use that knowledge to your benefit. Now that we understand the mentality of hiring managers in this job market, it's important for you to understand how you utilize that to your advantage. In order to be hired in a role that has a higher return on investment of your time at work, you need to prove that you are worth a higher return on investment of the work that you provide at the level that is yielding that higher paycheck. And when I say level, I mean scope, scale, impact, and industry of that stretch level that's going to be paying you the higher dollar amount. Those are the roles that you will need to be targeting in order to yield that higher paycheck. Now, this may happen at your current employer if you're still working, but many times that means looking externally for roles as well. So, in this strategy, you are going to be exploring all of your options. As you begin to explore your options, the first thing you need to do is a little bit of research. In order to be effective and strategic in the steps that you are taking as a job seeker, you need to understand the facts and the data. So, take a look at the roles that are currently out there and what they're paying. What are the responsibilities and the potential pain points for the roles that are paying what you're currently earning? And what are the pain points for those stretch roles, the ones that are paying what you want to be making? Collect that data and compare the two. You can even put that data into an AI bot if you want, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever you want to use, and ask, what are the pain points that you would assume for these roles, the ones that reflect what you're currently being paid? And then ask the same question, what are the potential pain points for the roles paying what you want to be paid? And then take a look. It's going to be there, written in black and white for you, what you need to be doing to maintain what you're making and what you need to be doing in that stretch role. Once you've done that, be honest. Take an evaluation of your personal gaps. In those stretch roles, what are the things that you're currently doing? And make it a checklist. Are you delivering at this level? Are you leading and influencing in a way that these positions require? Are you interacting with this level of professional in order to make the impact that is necessary to yield that higher paycheck? Identify the gaps and make a list. Once again, you can use AI to do that. This is not something that should take a very long time. Once you take that personal inventory, this part is the marathon part. This is where you then fill in those gaps. You say to yourself, okay, I have been doing this, and this activity. Great. But I see gaps in all of these other areas. In order to become the people manager that yields the higher paying job, the senior, the lead, the executive, how do I fill in those gaps to show that I can do that work? The reason that this is important, folks, is because new managers want to eliminate as much risk as possible in hiring a new person. In a job market like this, hiring managers and companies are more cautious when bringing on new talent. That's why the evaluation takes longer and it's a little bit more scrutinizing. Interviews are designed for a company, a hiring manager, future employers to predict a candidate's future behavior based off of their past behavior. That is the purpose of an interview. So, as you are presenting your experiences in an interview, you need to be presenting examples that showcase that you already have successes and wins that are obviously transferable to this new role. That's how you stand out, and that's how you make more money. So, in your current role, this is where you start to lay the foundation and the groundwork for that next step. This is the part that takes the longest. So, continue to own and execute those activities, those tasks, those wins that showcase that you are able to execute at that higher level, that higher paying level. And then while you're doing that, slowly but steadily take on those stretch projects in the areas where you have that gap. Are you killing it with your quarterly numbers and your regular goals by not only meeting but exceeding? Great, continue to do that. But then look at your work. Are you scaling out your knowledge in a way that's valuable? Are you presenting new project ideas? Are you taking ownership of beta testing new technology or software? Are you helping to interview, onboard, or train new people? Those may be things that you need to do in order to fill in that gap. And that will be specific to everyone's own career journey because everyone's in a different place in their career journey. So some of you may have most of those gaps already filled and just need a couple stretch projects, or maybe just need to network and make it known that you've been doing those stretch projects already. Others of you, this may be a bit of a wake up call. Oh, there's actually quite a few things I need to be doing in order to increase my marketability in 2026. Only you will be able to do that for yourself. But once you identify those, you create a strategic plan and you build upon that one step at a time. The next thing that is important for everyone, regardless of how many of those stretch projects you have yet to do, and that is to position yourself as a thought leader. Regardless of how many stretch projects you have to complete in order to fill that gap, as a career advancement expert, I encourage everyone to begin an online presence as a thought expert. We live online as a professional community. We just do. And with the way that the job market is shifting, I am seeing a consistent transition for thought leaders to have more exposure to opportunities just because they are a credible voice out in the world. You are a credible voice. So if you are keeping your voice quiet, you're not doing yourself any service at all. In fact, you're doing yourself a disservice. So post online, create content, share ideas, and give your thoughts. Comment on other people's posts on LinkedIn or other areas that are frequented by folks in your profession. Start building your presence with those who have the exposure to those higher paying jobs. Start not only building your network, but establishing yourself as a thought leader, a trusted expert, someone who has the knowledge and the know-how in your skill set and your industry. Become someone that others come to for answers because you are providing value. So, in order to be someone that makes that top dollar, surround yourself with the influential people and establish yourself as an influential person. The barrier to entry is actually pretty minimal. So start posting. As you do that consistently and start to build community online through your thoughtful expertise and through engaging in conversation, you will slowly but surely build upon that reputation. The building of your thought leader brand will happen at the same time that you are slowly but surely taking ownership of those stretch projects. Once you have done those for a little while and start to check off those additional boxes for the gaps, you can start applying to jobs. And honestly, you can start applying to the stretch jobs now. It does not hurt to get started a little bit early. Let them tell you no. What's the worst that can happen? You don't get a call, you don't get an interview. You're already not going to get a call or an interview if you don't apply. So do your research, do your homework, invest consistently in the stretch projects as well as your brand online, and you will establish yourself as someone who is authoritative enough to yield a higher paying job in 2026. Thanks so much for watching. Please give my channel a follow. I'd love to see you back here again, and happy job hunting. Thanks. Bye-bye.